Hello, YouTube. My name is Bazooka. Today I'm going to react to Tectone. I'm going to take a small piece of what he's reacting to on his Twitch VODs and essentially talk about some of the finer points of my issues, what I see in the future being an issue related to Tectone. And yes, this channel is going to continue to cover the Tectone. And I'll be honest, if he continues to attack Enviosity, I am going to ramp up my coverage of Tectone, because if he wants to bully, then I'm gonna potentially bring the heat. I'm gonna counter his narratives by always providing videos for the opposite side. Enviosity is not making YouTube videos. He hasn't made one over a month. I think that's probably due to the fact that he's been getting all of this bullying on his channel, and he just feels like he's getting downvotes by the thumbs up, thumbs down thing on YouTube, which doesn't, I think, affect his chances of being seen, but it can mentally affect you personally, especially if you've had a positive ratio for a very long time and now you're getting this negative. But this goes to another aspect of it, which he gets to in the beginning, and then we'll just react to it from this on all the way until whenever.
This is kind of going on with the whole Dr. Disrespect case. One guy came out with no proof whatsoever.
One guy who worked for Twitch and has credibility came out and said that Dr. Disrespect was trying to meet up with a kid.
And said, hey, Dr. Disrespect is, he's talking to kids.
Yeah.
Now, once again,
let's see what he's got to say. Come on, Tectone.
there's nothing wrong with saying that.
Okay, nothing wrong with saying it.
However, expecting people to believe you without proof of what you're saying is very dangerous.
Okay, very dangerous.
Because if people gain the ability to say whatever it is they want to say, and they don't have to back whatever it is that they're saying, that's when it becomes an issue.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. You saying that you're homeless 7 years ago, whatever it was, get in favor by your audience now because that provides sympathy for you. Is that not dangerous? And why I ask is because I've never seen proof of that. So if you ever watch these videos again, which you may not, but I'm just saying in general to the chat, I'd like to see proof of that. If anybody has proof of that, let me know. I would like to see it. And then I'll obviously make another video saying that I was wrong. But up until that point, I questioned the fact that he was homeless. That's all I'm saying. And I think so it goes both ways, right? Right, Tectone? It's fine that on one end of the spectrum, you know, you can criticize somebody for saying something, even though they were with Twitch for 14 years. They have a lot of credibility, okay? Which is not saying that what they said is true, but there is some validity here. Whereas somebody who plays gacha games and has changed and lied, says they're homeless, I'd be more inclined to believe Connor than I would you, Tectone, is what I'm trying to say.
Right? That's when it becomes an issue, is that when people can say whatever the fuck they want to say and everybody won't believe them.
Well, well, well. Who in the fuck is calling the kettle black here? You are the most offender of this trait. More than anybody. Your chat eats up your food constantly because of what you fucking say out of your vomited mouth.
It's a very dangerous.
Is it dangerous? How dangerous is it? Until you get caught. You're leveraging that, right?
Very dangerous.
Your chat always tells me, stop trying to talk about Tectone. If you talk about Tectone, YouTube's going to ban your channel for talking about Tectone.
Dangerous thing to happen.
Which could happen. I'm not suggesting that it can't happen. I've been very smart with my coverage, but at the same time, like, this YouTube channel is not dedicated to Tectone. But Tectone is a very good example of a lot of my talking points, so therefore I will use him constantly.
Happen, and nobody wants that. Okay, because guys, I'm going to say this shit right now.
Okay, come on. Is he going to say for real or something stupid like that?
There's a pretty extreme example. If I were to say, hey, let's find one random chatter. E. Bridget, you're a pedophile. Disprove it.
That's not the same. That's not the same, Tectone. It's somebody that worked for fucking Twitch for 14 years, not just some random fucking person, you idiot. That's not the logic you should be having. And it's like Asmongold defending this guy too. Like, what is this? And I know what it is. I'm not going to speak too broadly because it insinuates a lot, but I know what it is.
If I don't have any proof,
Yep.
and I say you're a pedophile,
Yep.
and now all of the proof is burdened on the accused, that's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Because being able to prove that you aren't is very difficult. So what are you going to do? Do a I spent 1 week in middle school and didn't fuck any kids challenge? No, probably not.
Right.
Right? Mr. Beast hasn't sponsored that fucking video yet. Right? That's why the burden of proof is on the accuser.
Right. And we know how the law works. We know how NDAs work. If the accuser basically does not file charges, therefore a lot of these legal things that are considered legal felonies can be basically civilly resolved, and they don't have to be anything more until ultimately the actual facts come out, and then the court of public opinion gets involved. Now, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It is what it is. 99.9999999% of America is against pedophilia, is against adults interacting with children, period. And now that it's out of the bag, it's not going to change the fact.
Right? And then it's up for people to make up their own mind on how they're going to feel on a certain topic.
Sure.
Hopefully that makes sense.
It does.
There is always squabbling, so
and does not.
make yourself at home and fight amongst yourselves. Just don't start punching until I ring the bell. Now, with all that housekeeping out of the way, let's get back to the subject at hand.
Yes, let's.
When I first started making Genshin content, I missed the initial wave, while many others quickly...
Wouldn't be surprised if it's true, though.
Oh, we're going to still... Wait. We're still on this subject? We're still defending Dr. Disrespect. Okay, go ahead.
Again, if it's true and the guy was calling it out, great.
Oh, now you want to put the counter narrative just in case someone's a whistleblower. Somebody wants to talk about the injustices. God forbid somebody talked about you. You know, you don't want to spread that narrative. So let's counteract and say, oh no, you can talk about people. It's fine. Because this is how things get out sometimes. You know, this is how things are delivered. Sometimes people do some shady ass shit that needs somebody to speak out about it.
But I do think it is very important that, I mean, those logs, those call logs are a pretty obvious callback, right? So just show the logs. He's
may not be able to now that it's 4 years old, but okay.
Former Twitch staff said it was in Twitch DMs. Pull up the Twitch logs and then just post them. And then there it is, right? And then it's over. It makes it a lot easier. Anyways, let's continue.
Rose to prominence as they surfed upon the inward tide. Amongst them was a content creator by the name of Tectone, the Gotcha Devil, or maybe the Gotcha Boogeyman, depending on how you look
I think those are accurate descriptions.
at it. To many, he seemingly came out and
It's more like the boogeyman. Speak my name and I'll appear.
nowhere, but he had in fact been covering Gotcha games for a couple of years prior. Some may say his success is entirely down to the Genshin buff, but I've done this for long enough to know that starting out is hard. Obviously he worked his ass off prior, which gave him a false multiplier when Genshin finally came around and gave him his big break. Just because you didn't see it doesn't mean it wasn't there. Back then I would occasionally catch his content, drawn in by his quote unquote clickbait, thumbnails and titles. And quite frankly, I didn't like the guy. Loud, obnoxious, egotistical,
Transphobic, homophobic, racist, sexist, misogynist.
and worse of
Guys, all of the allegations are true.
And that's what you always do every time. Always deflect.
Okay? Everything you've
There may be some truth to it. Possibly.
ever heard about me is 100% true. Right? It is. It's all of it's true, guys. Every single one of them.
all, he came across,
This is another way to...
The proof. Where's the evidence?
but that didn't stop me from being interested.
Yeah, and I think that's what everybody does now. Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? You can say whatever you want about me. Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? It's a very good position to take.
In his takes. Every now and again, during a major game-related controversy, such as the Zhongli fiasco, I'd have a listen to what Tectone had to say.
Here's what somebody should have had to say about me. Shave your damn head, you look goofy as fuck.
More often than not, I disagree with his opinions, but that didn't make them any less interesting to me. At the time, I would occasionally watch a couple of content creators known as Jinx and Tuna, who had known prior for their Monster Hunter content.
Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh.
And oh boy, did Tectone get into a scuffle with those guys.
I really do appreciate that you took the time to want to talk instead of just talk shit. It means a lot. So thank you
Hey.
very much.
I got you, baby.
In the end,
Nobody ever wants to see that clip. Nobody ever wants to talk about that where they literally thanked me for talking.
No, no, because that's what you do. And then I come onto your stream, I do that, I'm nice to you, and you lie to me in the process. That's what happened with us. You remember that, Tectone? You remember lying to me? Remember saying that you have an addiction and that's why you don't spend on money on gacha games, and then you go and have spent money in the last couple months on gacha games? Like, come on. Come on.
Jesus. Good God.
they quit content creation, but funnily enough, not because
They quit content creation. Interesting narrative.
of Tectone, but because of another content creator. But I dare say it's likely Tectone contributed to their final decision in
Abso-fucking-lutely. Which is why I'm not doing it. Which is why I'm going to stay active. Which is why I'm going to persist.
some way. But I digress. I continue to occasionally check in on him and see what he had to say. One of the most interesting takes to memory is how he would rationalise his spending habits. He stated that by wailing on the game he was making an example of himself, as a sort of warning for other players.
Here we go. Let's see the logic now.
I agree.
He believed if he exposed his audience to his ridiculous spending habits, he'd act as a scarecrow and prevent others from getting suckered
It's not a very good detractor.
into
Ultimately.
spending on predatory systems.
And just look what happened in China. I showed how bad the weapon banner is, and look what they did. They fixed it. It is what it is. It is what it. Hey, man, there's the proof right there. There's the evidence.
Because it would appear that stupid.
If someone sees that it took me $700 to get it clean, they're not going to think, oh, $600 or $700? I'll go drop that right now.
This guy's baiting him too, because I've watched this video.
I think what they'll think is, why the fuck is this dumbass spending this much money on
Because you want the content, because you want the views. That's why you did it. And you got all that money back plus some. Let's be very clear.
fucking 2D anime girl?
Although I could see the logic, I personally believe that most people who would pick up on the absurdity of it already thought spending high sums of money was stupid anyway.
Yeah, let's see your response to this. Licking your lips.
Whereas others who desire to engage with the gotcha system would watch Tectone spending and start to feel the itch.
There you go. That's the reality. Let's see.
You have to be fucking kidding me!
However, despite disagreeing with his method,
He doesn't say anything about that, does he?
I did agree with his intent, though I couldn't tell if it was pure intentions or a simple justification for him to wail and in turn bolster his channel, while foregoing the ethics of it all.
What do you got? What do you got?
It was my intention, but I think I quickly saw the error of my ways, and that's why, in case you haven't noticed, the length of my summoning videos has become a lot shorter.
Oh
than
my
they used
gosh.
to be, because I think the longer you spend in the summon screen, whether that's on your account, whether that's on someone else's account, I think the worse it is that
I mean, why didn't you say that to me then? Why didn't you at least acknowledge that that was one of my talking points? Are you just coming to this realization now that I've actually made this an issue and that this is an actual narrative that I have?
will cause ripple effects for people to spend.
I'm glad you acknowledged that, and I hope that continues. Trust me, that's a win. But at the same time, like, where was that narrative? Where was that ability to have a discussion with me back then?
So that's kind of what's been going on. But that's what made sense in my head, and I think people understood my logic for why I thought that, but I'm not sure
Always saying the right thing at the right time, Tectone. At some point in time, someone's going to call you out for your hypocrisy and all the times that you didn't do exactly what you said.
if it sounds
Don't worry, I'll remember this video. And I'm going to clip back to this whenever you do stay on the thing too long and do another promotion screen for whatever banner's next, which is going to be on the 28th, 6 days from now.
in today's day and age, but that's up for you to decide. For me, I do kind of get it, but yeah, these days I try to avoid the wish system as much as I possibly can.
It wasn't until a video titled The State of Genshin Impact that my opinion of Tectone began to change.
This was 2 years
In
ago.
this video, he'd taken a trip to a forest to speak his mind about Genshin. At first, his loud persona was on full display, but
You got to understand, this was right around that same time that all these people were getting harsh criticism for playing the game, period, dash dot. And so this was obviously most likely a ploy as well to get people to connect with him personally. It's all a ploy. It's all a facade. It's all a game. It's all a caricature, okay? All ways to manipulate his audience to make them more ingratiated towards their opinions, period.
As the video went on, he relaxed
And Asmongold does this too. Asmongold, Zach Ward used to do this as well. Still does it, I think. Not to the extent that he does it now, but he used to.
a little, and I started to see the man behind the mask. Many of the feelings he expressed about Genshin Impact mirrored my own at the time, that I began to formulate way before the release of Inazuma. It's also important to note that around the time I stopped making lore content, I had some positive interactions with another content creator who goes by the name of Ashikai. I could see huge potential in her
Ashikai's great. Very good videos.
content. Although we're not really close and haven't spoken for a while, I did consider her closer to a friend than an acquaintance and wanted to see her succeed. Soon after, to her own merit, Ashikai exploded on YouTube, but part of that was due to Tectone shining a light on her content. While
Right, which is what you've always gotten. You know, this is how you benefit. And if you don't agree with you, you try to bully them, and you're going to see that clip here very, very soon. It's why I'm making this video.
Is what it is.
many content creators would get big and pull the ladder up behind them, Tectone didn't seem that way inclined, and through throwing her a bone, I gained a little respect for him. As I became less interested in Genshin, Tectone stopped showing up in my feed. The only time I'd hear about him was through Asmongold here and there. Occasionally I might see a comment on my own videos talking about how much of an asshole he is, or how he's stirred up some of the old drama again. This
Okay.
Oh, bro, I've been called an asshole so much. I'm just like, alright. If that's what you want to call me, fine. Call me an asshole. Call me T-Dog. Fuck, who cares, bro? Just say my goddamn name and I'll appear.
appears to be a sticking point for many when it comes to their dislike towards him. They'll claim they hate drama, but seemingly flip-flop the moment the drama implicates him
That's true. Very true. Very good fact. What do you got to say about that?
negatively.
True.
Getting on a high horse saying, I hate drama, as I hate Tectone because he creates it, always seemed a little off to me. I'm with you when it comes to not really being one for drama, but I don't say this as some weird virtue signal. I'd argue that by simply existing as a human being, we all like drama to some extent.
I agree.
So it'd be stupid for me to try and claim it's a blight on this world, because we're all social creatures at the end of the day. After a long absence, Tectone appeared back on my radar during the controversy between Brax and Atsu. During this time, another situation had come to a head between him and Enviosity
Jesus
that had been
Christ.
ongoing for some time, apparently. I would empathise with Envy if it wasn't for his shameless attempts at character assassination. You don't get to take clips related to personal matters, strip away their context, and present them in a way to stick the knife in, because somebody called you names on the internet.
Enviosity, I'm so sorry that I called you a mint picker.
By doing this, you
It's not funny.
Enviosity really did try to bury my career, and the only thing he did was bury his own analytics.
It's not funny.
Like, it's just
You've been bullying people out of this space, regardless of what they've done to you, regardless of who started what. This is your. It would be fine if Enviosity was an isolated case, Tectone, but it's not. My case as well. You're trying to bury my, not directly, although I have evidence that you've basically told your chat to come to my channel and downvote me, which I do get all the time. Less comments now because a lot of them are invisible. I can't even see them even if they do post comments. So it's not like you just do this just to Enviosity. You do this to everybody. This is your stick. Unless, of course, they're like, you know, you're talking parrot, like somebody that actually sits there and defends you. Then obviously you promote them, you put them up because they deflect this whole entire ecosystem that you have created.
keep it a buck, man. Like, bro destroyed his own career.
No, bro did not destroy his own career because his stuff stayed the same. Okay, and all those accusations back then, I'm caught up in all of that. Okay, you're not innocent of this. Okay, it doesn't give Atsu any kind of like, you know, saving grace. I get that, but you're not innocent either, my friend. You played this game. You were just as competitive. You were just as backstabby as all of the rest of them were, and still are most likely. And Dr. Disrespect shows the potential for just, even if it didn't happen, even if it's all a lie and Dr. Disrespect didn't do anything wrong, content creators are not your friends, even if they appear to be, even if they suggest that they are not your friends, they're still not your friends. Don't be deceived.
Just put the events which encourage me
You do the same thing?
to speak my truth. Ends this off saying I gave him PTSD.
You probably have.
Says I'm free like some abuser because I called him a mint picker and I wanted to be a better streamer. Man,
It's not even that. His trauma, that all that persists today. He hasn't made content in a month. And I know it's petty. It's all just video games, and Enviosity should be able to overcome it and just deal with it. But at the same time, like, your whole entire fucking act, and this is what you were doing back in Atsu days. This is what you were doing behind the scenes, and this is why you're not innocent. This is why you still have things that you have never had come out against you. And like, Atsu didn't do himself any favors by making that document, because it just unfortunately diluted his message. But there's some validity in those claims as well.
oh man, what are you gonna do? Spank me? God, this shit was fucking pathetic. And the fact that I know Atsu told him to do it too is fucking insane.
That's weird. Why would you say that? You don't know that.
Absolutely fucking insane. Oh, I also got confirmation from another content creator that Enviosity has no fucking friends.
That's great. That's a really great thing to say about somebody, by the way. That's personal. Again, personal attacks. And you'd be like, well, he attacked me first, so therefore, yeah, but guess what? He used that same attack on me. Tectone is one of the biggest hypocrites on the platform, period. Okay? And I'm going to continue to drive this message. I'm going to continue to have evidence to prove why that is the case. He continues to throw personal shade at fucking people when there is no point. Like, Enviosity does not talk about Tectone. He has not posted a YouTube video for content in a month because of the bullying that he's gotten from Tectone. It's been 4 months since that video happened last. It's over. Tectone had a video saying the drama's over, and yet still doing personal shade here and still talking behind Enviosity's back, just like the allegations were that that's what he did back then in the beginning of this drama when Atsu and all these people were having issues with Tectone.
So, yeah, in case you're ever wondering why he never does collabs with anybody, it's because nobody fucking likes his ass.
That's really nice. And yeah.
Yes.
And you're gonna have all your chat go over there and tell him that as well now.
So,
Let's put a bookmark in here, and let's see if in any of his comments there's like, oh, you have no friends, you have no friends. I'll check his stream tomorrow and see if it actually indicates that there's some chatters that want to say he has no friends. Let's put a bookmark and see how many of his chatters go over there and bully and harass Enviosity 4 months after this whole incident.
yeah, it's great. Yep. Proof? Okay, here's proof. Go to his stream and see him do a collab with anybody in the past
Yeah, it's crazy.
3
Stupid.
months.
It's such a personal shade at somebody. Like, why do you have to involve friends, family, children?
Yeah, let me know, man. Send me the link of that happening. Anyways,
All right. Well, that's the video. I just wanted to highlight this Enviosity thing. I wanted to highlight this Dr. Disrespect thing, and continuously create a narrative and showcase who Tectone really is as much as I can without, being too overly obvious or too direct. My name is Suzuki. If you like this content, like, subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.